this class. So what we were doing actually. Is my screen visible to you now?
Yes, sir.
So here we are with the question number 2. I have given you question number 2. Do with question number 2 a non-metals. They were actually there were some questions were specifically given to you from this topic that we have studied in the previous class. Not all the questions were there to attempt. Okay, but accidentally they have given all the questions. So let it be. We'll discuss. A non-metal X exists in two different forms, X and Y, and is the hardest natural substance where Z is a good conductor of electricity, and identify X, Y, and Z. Tell me. X is a non-metal. Question number 2. X is a non-metal and exists in different forms. Okay. Which non-metal exists in different forms that we have discussed in the previous class?
Carbon.
Yes, carbon is that metals that exist in the form of, that is graphite and diamonds, and Buckminster Fullers. Okay, that we're going to study more in more detail when we will study carbonates and its compound chapter. Okay, so moving to this one here, we see that a non-metal that exists, that is X is carbon in two different forms, Y and Z. So and Y is the hardest substance, so which Y will be considered as
Diamond.
diamond, and Z will be considered as
Graphite.
graphite because it is a good conductor. Okay. Metals generally occurs in solid states. Okay. Name and write the metals which exist in the liquid state at room temperature. Tell me.
Mercury.
Okay. Which exists in liquid state at room temperature. Which of the following two metals will melt at a body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius? Tell me. Magnesium, calcium. Which of the following can easily melt? Tell me. Which I have written.
Gallium and cesium.
Gallium and cesium. Very good. From amongst the metals, sodium, calcium, and aluminum, copper. Okay. Magnesium means this is the metals. Name the metals which will react with water, because we have not studied this property. So this is okay. And after these questions, I have given which one of the following metals does not react even at high temperature. Tell me. Question number 6. Which one of the following metals do not react with even oxygen at high temperature?
Gold.
Okay. So these were the questions that we were discussing regarding to the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So these were the questions. So let's discuss further and let's proceed to the further part of this question of this topic. Okay. So let's discuss. So before discussing this, let's take a 5 to 10 minutes revision and of the previous chapter that we have studied, because it is very important and we should continuously revise the topics so that each and every topics will be in continuous manner, or the whole book we are finishing, we are proceeding further, but we should revise continuously the previous chapter. So can I ask you that this revision topic is how to write chemical formula of the compound. Okay, dear students, most of you know, but some of their students will be there that don't know how to write the chemical formula of the compound. For example, the formula for calcium oxide is CaO. The formula for sodium oxide will be, tell me, what will be the formula for sodium oxide?
Na2O.
Na2O. What will be the formula for aluminium oxide?
Al2O3.
Al2O3. Okay. If the formula for aluminium phosphate, what is the formula of aluminium phosphate? Aluminium phosphate.
Al2SO.
Aluminium phosphate. Aluminium phosphate. What should be the formula of aluminium phosphate?
AiPO4.
Al
PO4.
PO4 only. And the formula for ammonium phosphate. Ammonium phosphate. Ammonium phosphate.
NH4.
Ammonium phosphate.
NH4 3PO4.
NH4 whole thrice. Okay. And then
3PO4.
so let's give 10 minutes to this topic so that we can understand how to write the formula of the compound. So the students can also learn know how to write the formula of the compound. We must take a 10 minutes lecture from the previous topic that we have studied so that it will help us to revise continuously, okay, and make our doubt clear. Okay, so let's move here, students. So it is very easy. For example, how can we write the formula of the compound? This is simple, that you need to learn the valency of the compound. You need to learn the valency of the compound of the elements. For example, or the ions, we can say that. For example, aluminium has a valency of 3. How aluminium has the valency of 3? How it get the valency of 3? Okay. It has a valency of 3 because it has electronic configuration of 283. And the nearest noble gas for aluminium is neon, that is going to have electronic configuration 2,8.
2,8.
So what will it do in order to get the electronic configuration to the nearest noble gas, that is neon? It will lose 3 of its electron. Okay. And if it lose 3 electrons, then it will get the 3 positive charge, because electron is negatively charged. And when the negative charge is removed, then the positive charge will increases. So when aluminium is in the state of Al3 positive, then it will be having electronic configuration of 2,8. Likewise, this sodium atom is going to have the electronic configuration 2,8, 2,8, 1. And this sodium ion has the electronic configuration 2,8 only, because when it lose one of its electron, so it will get 1 positive charge. The number of electrons that an element lose is the valency of that. Sometimes the element can also gain the electron in order to attain this stability. For example, in case of chlorine, the electronic configuration of chlorine, if you don't know what is the electronic configuration, if there are some students who don't know what is electronic configuration and how to learn this electronic configuration, so you need to take the extra class. Please tell me. Okay, I will help you that how I get this electronic configuration and how to write this electronic configuration. So this is 2,8 and 287. The first shell of chlorine, the atomic number of chlorine is 70. The first shell is going to have 2 electrons, second is going to have 8, and third is going to have 7 electrons. Okay, dear students. So what would happen here is that when it lose, in order to get the electronic configuration to the nearest noble gas, that is R1, is 288. So this chlorine will gain 1 electron. Somewhere from anywhere it can gain 1 electron. Okay. So this will gives you 288 electronic configuration. And when chlorine get 1 extra electron, it will get 1 negative charge. That is 2,8. So these are the valency. This is the valency of chlorine, that is -1. This is the valency of aluminium, this is +3. Okay, sodium is going to have +1, that is only +1 charge, so that is going to have 1. So we are having a valency chart that we're going to send you today. Okay, that you need to write down this, that there are some metals, okay, that is going to have the valency, that is potassium is going to have 1 valency, sodium is going to have 1 valency, copper is going to have +1 valency, mercury is going to have +1, silver is going to have +1, ammonium ion is going to have +1, okay, hydrogen is going to have +1. Similarly, -1 is chloride ion, bromide ion. When chlorine get 1 electron, it becomes chloride, not chlorine. Bromine when gets 1 electron and it become ions, this is ions, then it becomes bromide. So these are the valency, that hydrogen carbonate is SCO3 -1. Okay, hydrogen sulfide is. So if I'm going to explain you this whole thing, that how I'm able to write the formula of this compound, of any compound. So this valency chart will going to help you that how you can write the formula of the compound. This valency chart plays a very important role in writing the formula of the compound. So first you need to memorize this valency chart, that the valency of calcium is +2, the magnesium is valency is +2, zinc is going to have +2, iron has 2 valencies. If it is ferrous, then it is +2. If it is ferric, like this one here, it is a mistake here. Okay, this is chromium is written Cr, but it is Fe. It should be Fe here. So we will correct it. We will send it to you by correction. Okay, so sometimes iron is going to have +3. So you need to memorize this chart. Okay, dear students, you all have to memorize this chart. This chart is very important. For example, aluminium is going to have +3 valency chart, nitride is going to have plus. So in accordance to these valency chart, we are going to write the formula of this compounds, And how we write the formula of the compound? For example, if the aluminium is going to have +3 valency and oxygen is going to have -2 valency, so we can write the formula. We can write the formula aluminium. What should be the formula of aluminium and oxygen when combined together? Aluminium is going to have +3 valency. You have to write here +3. Oxygen is going to have -2 valency. You have to write here. Don't write plus and minus. That is okay. Now cross, you will get Al2O3. Al2O3 will be the formula of the aluminium oxide. Okay. Okay, dear students. You understood? So
Yes,
when you
sir.
memorize this chart, for example, hydrogen carbonate, HCO3 is a molecule, is a polyatomic ion that is going to have only one valence. And calcium is going to have valency 2. So if I ask you what should be the formula of calcium hydrogen carbonate, So if you were able to memorize, if you know that the valency of hydrogen carbonate is 1 and calcium is 2, then you can easily write the formula of calcium hydrogen carbonate, that is CaHCO3, because
Right.
this hydrogen carbonate is treating as one entity, single entity. So before writing the 2 here, we have to put the bracket in this one and we have to write like this. If I am having an example of sodium hydrogen carbonate, HCO3, this is sodium is also having one, hydrogen carbonate is also having one valency. You will see that sodium is +1 and here it is -1 in the chart. So both of them are going to have +1 valency. Then if they are the same things, then we generally combine NaHCO3 will be the formula of calcium hydrogen carbonate. So first of all, I will in today's homework, I will send you the chart, and then accordingly you have to. I will send you the some questions, some questions to write the formula of the compound, some name of the compound, and then you have to write the correct formula of the compound with the help of this valency chart. Okay, got it, dear students?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
move to the topic, the class topic today. So this was how we write the formula of the compound. If any student is still having doubt and having problem, then let us know. Please write us that I am having the problem in writing the chemical formula. Okay, first you need to write the valency, learn the valency chart, and then simple cross multiplication, and then you will be able to write. Okay, so let's move to the this topic that we were discussing. So in the previous class, we were discussing electron enthalpy. We have discussed the physical and chemical properties. We have discussed. Now moving to the next part is let's move towards the chemical properties of metals. Okay, dear students, what we are going to study today is chemical properties of metals. What are the chemical properties? Means when metals simply react with different substance like acid, sometimes base. Okay, then we're going to discuss the chemical properties of metal, and that are very important, so you need to understand very deeply. Okay, the first today's topic, the class topic is chemical properties of metals. Okay, got it down. So if you are discussing the chemical properties of metal, dear students, the first property of metal is when metals react with acids. They form salt plus hydrogen gas. Got it? This arrow is representing gas. Got it, dear students? But there are some terms and conditions. In this. So let's discuss what are the terms and conditions. Here are the terms and condition. Not all metals react with acid to liberate out hydrogen gas. So is there anyone in the class who can tell me that which metal do not react with acids? Is there anyone who can tell me that? Is there anyone who can tell me which metals do not react with acids?
So gold does not react with metal.
Why?
Gold has very less reactivity.
So there is a reactivity series that we have to write here. Actually, this is a reaction between acid and metal is a displacement reaction. It is a type of displacement reaction. So let's write the displacement reactions and let's write the elements in this. Okay, so discussing this one. The first one is potassium, then sodium, okay, then magnesium, then aluminium, sorry, calcium. This is calcium. Then aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead. Okay, this is tin. This is lead. This one is tin. This one is iron. You are familiar with zinc, aluminium, magnesium, calcium, sodium. Na is sodium and K is potassium. Okay, dear students. So these are the metals. Okay, now moving below this one is the reactivity series, but we put a non-metal in this one, and these are all metals, but this one is non-metal, and that is hydrogen. Because this hydrogen here help us why some metals react with acids. After this hydrogen is copper. Then after copper we have Hg, that is mercury, copper. Okay, and after this mercury is Ag, that is silver, that is gold, Au, gold, and that is Pt is platinum. Okay, dear students. So let's discuss what is happening actually. When we take dilute HCl, hydrochloric acid, and we add sodium metal to it, what would happen here is that this sodium metal is above the hydrogen. These metals are above hydrogen in the reactivity series. And what would happen that this reaction will take instantly. And what would happen? This sodium will replace this hydrogen from this. Okay. And in place of this, it will form NaCl. Okay. Plus hydrogen gas will be formed. Okay. Why it is displacing? Because sodium is more reactive than hydrogen. If I ask you that which type of reaction it is a combination displacement, double displacement that you have studied in the first chapter. So this is a
Displacement.
displacement reaction in which more reactive metal, that is sodium, is displacing the hydrogen from acids. Okay. Got it, dear student? Similarly, if I write it the H2SO4 sulfuric acid when react with zinc, what it will form?
ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas.
ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas. Other students are not responding. Only Abir is responding. Shweb, Tejasvi. Moving towards this is that when zinc, what would happen here is when zinc react with sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, then it will simply displace this hydrogen from this one. Okay, and will form zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. This is acid. This is metal. General equation, they will form salt plus hydrogen gas. Got it? Simple as zinc will displace and will form zinc sulfate, ZnSO4. Okay. So please note it down. Every student, please note it down. And when you're done, please let me know. Tejasvi, are you there in the class?
Yes, I am here.
So when you done, please let me know.
Noted, sir.
Other students still writing or
Done, sir.
uh, is there any who is not written? Shoaib, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
And Jobita, correct pronunciation of your name is Jobita George. Are you there in the class? Jobita George, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
You are here. Okay. Right. So moving to the next part is that not only all metals react with acids, not only all metals, those metals that are above hydrogen in the reactivity series, okay, are able to, let's move. Similarly, we will write these same things. Okay. For example, if you are having HCl when react with copper, what would happen? HCl when placed in copper,
No reaction.
Copper will displace.
this will no reaction will take place. Why?
Copper is less reactive than hydrogen, so it will not be able to replace hydrogen.
Students, suddenly the laptop gets shut down. I don't know what happens to the laptop. Coming to the back topic, which we are discussing. Is I audible to you? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
So we were discussing HCl when react with copper. Okay. So what it will give you? It will be
No reaction will take
Why?
place.
Because we in the previous slides were discussing that coppers comes below hydrogen in the reactivity speed. If it is hydrogen, then this copper will comes, then silver, sorry, mercury will come, then silver, then gold and platinum. So these metals that comes below hydrogen in the reactivity speed do not react with. Got it? Got it, dear student?
Yes, sir.
Moreover, this reaction is so exothermic that the hydrogen gas in this reaction is very exothermic process, and this is not easy process. So, if we take the more reactive metal like sodium reacting with HCl, okay, sodium reacting with HCl, or sodium reacting with some other H2SO4, H2SO4 reacting with sodium or potassium, okay. So, what would happen here is that these reactions are so exothermic that the gas liberated out during this reaction is so high. Sorry, the heat produced during this reaction is so high that it led the hydrogen gas to catch fire. Okay, we will write this one. First of all, tell me what would happen when the product formed, the salt formed when H2SO4 react with potassium. Tell me. Name the salt that will form here.
KSO4 plus H2.
This will not be KSO4. We have to write here K2SO4. We have to write the correct formula of the compound accordingly. We will balance it later. You can write here 2K. Okay. But what we need to do here is we are not displacing this one. We are not displacing and merging these two. Actually, what we are doing that acids are the producer of hydrogen ions, H plus ions. So this hydrogen gas are produced from the hydrogen that is present in the acids. So leaving this hydrogen H2, we get here K and SO4. Now accordingly, we have to write the formula of this compound. K, when you see in the valency chart, is going to have 1 valency and SO4 is going to have 2 valency. So we have to multiply these two, we will get K2SO4. Got it? Formula of this is K2SO4, not K. So we have to write the correct formula, right? Correct formula of the compound. Correct formula of the compound. Got it, dear student? Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do one more, then we'll proceed further to the next chemical property. Okay, tell me what would happen when HNO3 react with magnesium. What would happen? HNO3 react with magnesium. Which salt will form? You know that this is acid. HNO3 is nitric acid. This is nitric acid. Nitric acid is strong acid. And this is magnesium metals. What would happen when it react with this one?
MgNO3 twice.
Yes, correct formula for magnesium. Replace the hydrogen because hydrogen is being used here in producing the hydrogen gas. Now you are having magnesium and nitrate, NO3. So write the correct formula of magnesium and nitrate. You will see that in the valency chart, when you learn it properly, you will find that the magnesium is going to have 2 valency and nitrate ion is going to have 1 valency. You will find the Mg as Mg2 positive written in the chart and NO3 is minus written in the chart. That means it is going to have minus 1 valency, 1, or magnesium is going to have 2. So when you cross multiply, you will get Mg bracket NO3 whole twice. Mg NO3 whole twice. What did you student?
Yes, sir.
Now you have studied that metals react with acids to produce hydrogen gas. Okay. And not all metals react with acids. Those metals that are above hydrogen in the reactivity series are only able to produce hydrogen gas, or they only react with acid. Other metals that comes below hydrogen like gold, platinum, silver do not react with acids. Got it? Is that point is clear, or is still having anyone here having doubt regarding to that stuff?
No, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Tejasvi,
It's
Jupiter.
clear, sir.
Okay. Moving to the next part is, there's one thing sometimes the question is being asked in the examination, that there is a special case of HNO3. You have noticed that I have written here magnesium, and now magnesium or manganese, but not zinc or some other metals, because HNO3 is the only acid that has some exception with metals also. Like if I'm having, you can see that if I'm reacting this HNO3 with zinc, you know that zinc is more reactive than hydrogen, but still the hydrogen gas will not produce. In case of zinc, if the acid is HNO3. HNO3 is exceptions, then you need to write here why HNO3 is not able to produce hydrogen gas, okay, when react with metals. Like you know that acid, those metals that are above hydrogen in the reactivity series, like if I'm having H2SO4 when react with zinc, it will gives you ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas. But if I'm having HNO3 plus zinc, no hydrogen gas will be produced, it will reduce to water. Okay, why? Because HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent, and it oxidizes the hydrogen gas produced to water. We don't get the hydrogen, it simply oxidizes. It is a strong oxidizing agent. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we have to write here one question. Why HNO3? Please, I'm going to write here. Let me check whether I have written already or not. So if it is written, then there will be no need to write. So, okay, write it down. HNO3 being a strong oxidizing agent, write this case. Why HNO3? Question. Why HNO3 do not liberate out hydrogen gas? I'm writing the question. Yeah. Okay. Why HNO3 do not produce H2 gas on reaction with metals. Simply you need to write here the answer. HNO3 being a strong oxidizing agent, on reaction with metals do not liberate out hydrogen gas because it oxidizes the hydrogen ions to form water. The hydrogen ions of acid is oxidized to form water, and they got oxygen, they form water. Okay, don't form hydrogen atoms. Okay, to form water, and itself get reduced to nitrogen oxide such as N2O5 and got it. But there are
Yes,
two
sir.
metals. Many times this has been asked in the examination, that which metals can react with HNO3 and can produce hydrogen gas. There are the two metals. One is magnesium, and another one is manganese. Okay, so magnesium, Mg and Mn are the two metals which on reaction with HNO3 can liberate out hydrogen gas. Please note it down, and you have to maintain proper copy if you want to achieve 100% marks, very good marks, about 95% marks in your examination. Then it is must that you must prepare a very good notes. Okay, every note, and you must have a separate copy for chemistry, physics, and bio. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Please note it down, and when you're done, please let me know. There are 2 marks questions arises here, that is, which metals can liberate out hydrogen gas. 1 marks question.
Sir, what is Mn?
Mn is manganese. Mn is
Noted, sir.
every
Sir.
other student. This is Mg is magnesium. These are the 2 metals. Okay. So what we study, that There can be so many questions that can be arises from this topic, that the first chemical properties of metal, and that is sometimes it is being given question. This type of question can come that complete the reaction. Okay, HCl when react with copper. So if you know that copper is less reactive than hydrogen, you can write here no reaction. 1 marks question can arise from this. Okay, another question, the very famous question that comes from NCERT also, on the basis on the chemical properties of metal, and especially with metals reaction with acid, that is why do question is why should not we can sour substance like curd in metals utensils okay, metals utensils like copper, like zinc, aluminum, copper, etc. Okay, this is an NCERT questions. Why should we not kept the sour substance? Sour substance means that it must have acids. What do you mean by the sour substance means? Acid containing substance. Acid containing substance. Understood? Understood, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Is there any idea? Why should we not kept?
So the acid can react with the metal
Yes,
to
acid
produce
can react.
harmful substance.
Yes, it can change the taste or make the poisonous substance, poisonous salt. The salt that we eat, that is NaCl, it is digestible for our body, but this is magnesium sulfate, MgSO4. Okay, and similarly zinc phosphate, Zn3PO4. Formula for this one is Zn3PO4 whole thrice, and similarly aluminium phosphate, AlPO4. Aluminium phosphate. This is used for killing rats. And this is the person who generally use for suicide. This is a poison, and person or it is generally given to kill the person, kill the human being. Okay, that is aluminium phosphate. So this is also a salt, but this salt is so poisonous that our body cannot digest. Okay, NaCl is sodium chloride, that is a table salt that we can digest, but all salt our body cannot digest or cannot utilize it. So the salt can be poisonous. So when acid, especially in case of aluminium, this is aluminium is aluminium phosphate. This is a very dangerous salt. So if you are keeping the curd substance in aluminium metals, aluminium utensils, then it will gives you poisonous substance that can harm your body. Okay, so what should be the correct answer for this one is that acids, the sour substance contain acids, sour substance contain, note the answer please, contain acids which can react with metals to produce salt and hydrogen gas. This salt may be poisonous, which can change the taste of food or may harm our body. Are you understood? Yes, student?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Note it down. Other Shuaib, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You understood? You are not replying. Please participate in the class. You are good student. Write it down. Okay, done. Everybody.
Done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That
Okay.
noted, sir.
Okay. Now moving to the next portion is next property is that metals when react with water. Okay, metals when react with water. What happens when metals react with water? Let me explain you. This. So is my screen is visible to you now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Metals when react with water, it form metal oxide / metal hydroxide. Okay, / metal hydroxide. Dear student, plus hydrogen gas. Plus hydrogen gas. These metals when reacting with water, it also form metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. Okay. Only they are the 4 metals which can react with the laptop is having some fever. It's not responding well. I don't know what is happening to it. It's having some problem, right? I think all day I was making some presentation. Dear students, sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know what is happening in the laptop. It is all very okay and it is very good having each and everything working. What is happening?
It's all right, sir. I guess it's a network issue.
But it is not a, my laptop gets shut down. I don't know why it is happening. So we're going to extend your class for 15 minutes. I have raised the time. Okay. Please cooperate, okay? Because the topic is very important. We must learn something if we are having some. So let's, what we are doing, we were discussing this topic. My screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now moving to this portion is that we see here that metal plus water, whenever metal is reacting with water, it forms metal oxide and metal hydroxide. You need to memorize and you need to keep this point here that only 4 metals, that are the first 4 metals, potassium, sodium, calcium and magnesium. These are the 4 metals, the first 4 metals that I have already written previously in the reactivity series. These metals when react with with water, they produce metal oxide. Sorry, instead of metal oxide, they produce metal hydroxide. Other metals like zinc, aluminium, iron, they don't produce metal hydroxide. Why? Let me explain you why. So what is the general equation? That is simple. Metals when react with water, they produce metal oxide plus metal hydroxide slash metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. Okay. Which metals produce hydroxide? There are the 4 metals: potassium, sodium, calcium and magnesium. Which produce metal oxide? That is aluminium, zinc, aluminium, iron, okay, lead. These metals produce oxide. They don't produce hydroxide. Why? Why these 4 metals produce hydroxide and these are not producing? Let me explain you. Actually, what happens when I'm just going to take the example of sodium. Sodium when react with water, firstly it will form sodium oxide, Na2. How we write the formula? Na2. This is simple, that the valency of Na is 1 and O is 2. From the valency chart, you can get the formula of Na2. Plus hydrogen gas will be produced. Got it? But what happened to this nitrogen, this sodium oxide? This sodium oxide is water soluble. Water soluble. Okay. This is water soluble oxide. Okay. So when it react with, you see here, when it react with further water, because the whole water is not, there will be some water still present in this reaction. So when it further react with water, this product, and it forms sodium hydroxide. You can check there the 2 Na, 1, 2O, and 2 hydrogen. Okay. The overall reaction, what we get, overall what we get Na when react with water, it will gives you NaOH plus hydrogen gas. We don't get this intermediate product because this reaction further proceed to this one, second reaction. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Because why they are solving the producing the hydroxide? Because sodium oxide, potassium oxide, magnesium oxide. Why magnesium? MgO, not Mg2, because magnesium is going to have 2 valency and oxygen is also going to have 2 valency. So they will cancel out and will form MgO. And calcium oxide. These are all water soluble oxide. Water soluble oxide, and these further react with water, further react with water to form to form beer hydroxide. Beer hydroxide. Got it? Got it? Got it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So moving to this portion is again water soluble oxides are which are water soluble oxide. The first four metals forms water soluble oxide. Okay, first four metal forms water soluble oxides. The other metals like aluminium when react with water, it form Al2O3 plus hydrogen gas. But this is not water soluble. This is aluminium oxide is not water soluble. Water soluble. So it will not react further with water to form aluminium hydroxide. Okay. Now there are some conditions. And what are the conditions? That is very, very important. And so many times the question is being asked about the condition, and you are going to get the questions today in your homework also. So you must understand properly that what are the conditions. And so many times it has been a metal X when react with cold water, a metal X when react with steam. So there are some conditions. What are these conditions? Let me discuss. Let me discuss what are the conditions. The first condition is with the sodium and potassium. Talking about the sodium and potassium are the two metals that they can react even with water, KOH, at all temperature. Sorry, I'm KOH. It will be KOH, and plus hydrogen gas will be produced. Means even if you place the sodium in ice, it will react with water. It will react with water and produce hydrogen gas. Okay. And the reaction is so exothermic. Dear student, you need to understand here that the reaction is so exothermic that the heat liberated out during this reaction is so high, is so large that we can simply say that the hydrogen gas catches fire. So you have seen that in so many YouTube videos that hydrogen is put in water and it get a blast. Why it is getting blast? Because the reaction is so exothermic that the hydrogen gas produced here instantly catch fire and give a blast. Okay, so you can write here that the same thing, that in case of sodium and potassium, this gas, means the hydrogen gas produced, is so exothermic that the heat liberated out during this reaction led the hydrogen gas to produce catch fire. Let me write it again. So what happened here is that this reaction is so exothermic, that hydrogen gas produced catches fire. Okay, got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये react at all temperature. React with water at all temperature. With water at all temperature. Okay, dear students. Now moving to the next point is calcium react with water, and furtherly it will form first calcium oxide, step 1, and in this step 2 this calcium oxide further react with water, it will form calcium hydroxide, step 2. The overall reaction what we will get here in this case is this one. Okay, and here it is that calcium react with cold water. Okay, means the minimum it does not readily react with ice, is react with cold water, chilled water. Okay, so many times it will be asked in the examination, a metal X and react with cold water. So when it comes to the cold water, just clear that is most of the time it can be calcium. Even sodium and potassium can also react with cold water. I'll give you the, not only calcium react with cold water, sodium and potassium can also react with, but magnesium do not react with cold water. It react with hot water. Okay, so again Again, I'm writing this. Magnesium when react with water, it forms magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. And the condition for this one is this, it react with hot water. Got it? Got it? Got
Yes,
it, dear
sir.
students? So please note it down, this reaction and this reaction. And conditions, write the conditions is very, very important. We need to write the conditions properly. Okay. Mariam, Firdaus, may I? In the meeting room.